I'm with Michael and Jude Kaiser from Judes Bees. And Mike, Jude, you want to tell us your story of how y'all got started up with this business?
Wanted something to cross-pollinate the apple trees, and then it just went from there and just started stacking boxes. And after we stacked, we kept pulling, just kept stacking. Now we go everywhere to pull honey and do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
The transition from just cross pollinating our apple orchard started out just like everybody else that has ever fooled with bees. It started out with 1 box, then 2 boxes, then 10, then 20, then 50, and we were running into an issue with equipment like everybody else does, getting enough equipment, and we were finding a lot of older folks that were getting out of beekeeping. And Jude asked the question, why are they getting out? Well, the answer was the boxes were too heavy.
Yeah.
So Jude's idea was, well, we'll just put together a portable system to where we can come out and spend these guys honey for them for a percentage of the harvest. And that started out 3 years ago, and we would do folks who just had 1 and 2 hives all the way up to commercial folks now.
Yeah, there you go. I know 4-H was involved in this some.
FFA.
FFA, that's
FFA.
right, FFA.
Yeah, he won first, last year he won first place in FFA for specialty animal. Ag processing was second, and then Ag services was third. Then this year he won second place for Ag services about this whole setup here, how we come out and help folks.
Yeah.
And then Ag processing on how we clean and bottle everything.
Yeah.
You got third in it this year.
Oh,
so
good deal.
So we're still rolling. We're still
Good deal.
moving.
So y'all are offering this service of portable honey extraction, where you come out to different yards. You know, I don't know how far are y'all willing to travel.
Right now we're traveling 3 hours. 3 hours from northeast Alabama. We go over into Georgia. We go to North Alabama and South Alabama.
You able to handle, you say, around?
Right now, conservatively, depending on how the yards are set up, we can do 50 hives a day. We can do a little more than that, but as a conservative, about 50 hives a day.
Okay, and how do y'all tell how you charge for that?
The charge is simple. Instead of having to out of pocket a bunch of money for honey extraction, we'd like 25% of the harvest, and the owner of the apiary assigns 25%.
Okay, so they pick out what 25%.
They pick the 25% out.
And they provide the.
They provide the buckets. We show up with all the equipment to extract. They provide the buckets, and they assign the 25%. We bring fume boards. To help push the bees out for smaller operations. I know we have some that use the queen escapes, but we like the fume boards. We can set the fume boards up there. That way, depending on how the apiary is set up, we can ease in and ease out.
Okay, good deal. Y'all do everything. Y'all come in and pull the supers.
We come in, pull the supers. All we ask is that you have a queen excluder on there so we don't get her up into the honey supers. And we'll come in, we pull the boxes, we do it all.
Extract them and return them or stack them or whatever.
Whatever the beekeeper wants. If he wants them stacked back, we'll stack them back. If he wants them set off to the side to be robbed out and stored, we'll do that too.
Good deal. So the beekeeper don't have to do a thing. Y'all come in and handle it all.
We like for them to be on site just to make sure everything's going like they want it to go. We want to make sure that everybody's took care of and happy.
Good deal. Sounds good.
Okay. All right, how it works is Jude and his crew will go into the bee yard. They'll pull how many ever supers is ready to go. They bring them. We got a little side-by-side and trailer. They bring it right up here to the back. They all stack the supers here. Once they're all stacked here, we'll decap here. Once the decapping's done, then we go into the spinner. Right now we can spin 20 medium frames at a time. Once it's spun out, it goes into the beekeeper's buckets. We number, label everything per yard. That way we can kind of track the production. Especially if we're going to come back multiple years, we make a spreadsheet so we can see how each yard's production is going for them, so they can tell year to year what their yield is. Once the buckets come out of here, we set them wherever the beekeeper would like them to go.
Good deal.
Nice and simple.
How's people get a hold of you?
You can reach us on Facebook at Judes Bees, and the phone number is 256-419-4750. You'll either get me or Jude.
Good deal. Thank you, Michael.
All right, thank you.
After these supers set out for a couple of days, they get pretty well cleaned up. There's a ton of bees, just a cloud of bees on them, while there's still some remnants of honey in them. After they're cleaned up, you'll see a few bees will stay on them pretty good, like they are now. There's mostly more bumblebees on them now than they are honeybees. Bunch of bumblebees like that. But we give them a couple of days, they get cleaned up, and we'll move them into the Connex. When they are cleaning them up, they make a big mess of cappings where they've chewed into those cells, and even chewed into corners and pieces of the hive. I mean, pieces of the frames that maybe didn't get uncapped. They chewed the cappings off. It's a good idea to put something solid up under, maybe a bed sheet or tablecloth, anything you can find to put under the supers when you set them out, and collect all those cappings for wax, because there is a pretty good bit that they drop out onto the ground. So you can put something under them and collect those cappings for wax for using later to wax frames and things like that. So once the bees have got our supers cleaned off, got all the frames cleaned out, we use a Connex box, storage container, whatever you want to call it. We store our supers in here. We got extra boxes of deep frames that were on hives that we pulled off. Most of the supers in here, we just stack them to the top, and get as many as we can in here. The way that we protect them, you don't have very much trouble with wax moths in the supers. Not nearly as much as you do in the deep boxes, because these were once a brood chamber, and brood's been laid and emerged out of these frames and have not been in the super frames for the most part. Here, a few hives, you'll have a queen get through the excluder and lay in your supers, but for the most part, those supers have been free of brood, and therefore wax moths are not as quick to get on those frames. But we treat them all the same. We will stack them about half of a stack high, and right in the middle of the stack we will put a empty box with no frames in it, and that leaves us room for our treatment. We'll put treatment in the middle box and then finish stacking boxes of frames on up to the ceiling. And what we treat with is, there's 2 or 3 different things that we use. All of them will contain the same ingredient, which is, I don't know if I can get it to focus this close. I can't get it to focus, but it is called para-dichlorobenzene. It's the active ingredient, para-dichlorobenzene. You can find it in some mothballs, and we also use it in, I don't see any right here, but we call them toilet cookies. It's the toilet deodorizers. It's got the hook on it that hangs over the side of the toilet bowl. Anything with paradichlorobenzene is the same thing as paramoth the expensive product you buy from some of the bee suppliers that goes by the name of paramoth for wax moth treatment. It's the same exact product as long as the active ingredient is paradichlorobenzene. So you can buy it at Walmart and dollar store for much cheaper than you can buy paramoth from the bee supply places. So we just put some of that in the middle box. Those toilet cookies, I just cut a slit in the plastic and put 2 or 3 in each stack. These boxes from the dollar store like this here, we'll just open up a box. They come in a bag inside, and we'll open the bag up and set it in there. And there's one open right there. We just open that bag up and set it in the stack, and just like this. It's got an empty box right here, and we'll finish. Let's get the treatment in, and we'll finish stacking it up to the ceiling. And that works really well for wax moths. And once we get this Connex box filled up, get treatment on all of them, the treatment will be very strong inside this closed up box, and this does a really good job of protecting those frames from wax moths. Don't smile, Jude.
Yeah,
you
come
gotta
on now.
you gotta act mean.
We mass communicating now.